Unit 4, Lesson 1, Check Your Understanding. So this lesson we talked about graphing different situations. So question 1 here says the relationship between the amount of time that a car is parked and the cost for the parking can be described with a function. First, we want to identify the independent and the dependent variable, which are other words for input, which is your x value, and output, which is your y value. So the input is normally time. Based on how long you are parked in the parking garage, that's going to determine the cost or the dollars for the parking. If we were to describe the function, we would say that, I actually like the word cost over dollars. So the cost is a function of time. The cost depends on the amount of time you are parked. So suppose that it costs $3 per hour to park with a maximum cost of $12. So we are going to have time across the bottom here. We have, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3, 4, so on. And we can just count by threes here. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. For 1 hour, it's going to cost $3. 2 hours is 6. 3 is 9. 4 is 12. And 12 is the max. So if you were 5 hours, still 12. 6 hours, still 12, and so on. So our graph would look something like this, and then it's going to flatten out at the 12. So using our graph, we can answer the following questions. What is the cost to park for 6 hours? So 6 hours, we are at that maximum point, so it's going to be $12. They want us to label the points, so this one is 6, 12. How many hours can you park for $9? So $9 is here. We can park for 3, 9, 3 hours. Okay, that is question 1. We also talked about determining whether a relationship is a function. We talked about how every input can only have one output. So if we look at our first one here, we have the inputs here on the left, our outputs on the right. If you look at our first one, 2 has 2 different outputs. So if I asked you what is the output for 2, you wouldn't have one definite answer. You actually have 2 answers, which makes this not a function. 2 has 2 outputs. You can only have one output. If you're given a graph, we would use vertical lines. Every vertical line should only touch the graph one time, which for this graph, each line only crosses once. So this one is a function. And then if you're given coordinate points, you want to look at your x values. We have an x value of -1 with an output of 0, 2 with an output of 1, 3 with an output of 0, -6 with an output of 2. So each x only has one y value. Now, some people might have said no because we have 2 points with the y value of 0. Remember, 2 people can have the same birthday, so this is okay. So this is a function. Okay, let me know if you have any questions or something didn't make sense. Otherwise, go ahead and turn this in.